Live from New Bedford, ladies and gentlemen, this is the YouTube channel vlog show of authenticity, inspiration, and realness. Also of good times, personality, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here's your host of the show. He is Big Beefy E. He is Mr. Shenanigans and the elder statesman of the Rant and Rave podcast, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans, 1977, episode 2080, 20 episodes away from 2,100 episodes of the show. It is March the 8th, 2025, 5:17 p.m. Saturday afternoon. How you guys doing? A couple of hours ago, I have finished seeing the Queen of the Ring movie. I'll get to how the movie was and what I think of it and all. Why I think of it all, and this was the first movie I've seen in 2025, basically, because like I said, it's very difficult. Going back to work on Monday, so this is gonna be a very interesting situation Monday, for sure. Then you got, so I've enjoyed my vacation. And enjoyed thoroughly. And once again, I want to thank everybody who sent me birthday wishes on Facebook. I do appreciate those wholeheartedly. I know a lot of people gave me belated birthday wishes as well. Thank you, though. Either way, I don't care if you're late, early, or even on time. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I really do appreciate that. It's great to see good people that support me. I went through a lot since getting the internet. I mean, you talk about the internet changing my life. Man, I'll tell you one thing. You go through more challenges. You've got people that you don't know you from a hole in the wall making fun of you, disrespecting you, trying to hurt, trying to damage your reputation and ruin you. If you're friends with somebody they don't like, they harass you for it. But it got to the point where I'm just going to start saying I'm ignoring you. I know. Just because I block people doesn't mean I hate them. Just to let you know. Just let you know. It doesn't mean I hate them. It's just that I don't want to hear their garbage no more. Basically, it's basically silencing them for good. Silence the critics, silence the haters. Basically silencing them. They don't like it. That's too bad. That's all I am and do, and everything else in between. But like I said, but then again, people. I have a lot of friends. There's a good that outweighs the bad, and the good is I'm blessed with a lot of people that are friends, good friends of mine. And people I have connected with even before I even had an internet. So, and having to reconnect with them again, it's so cool. And always will be thankful to this day. So, so there's that. So, what's going to happen for the rest of for tomorrow? I forgot. We got to change our clocks ahead an hour. I forgot the daylight savings time is tomorrow. So, change your clocks ahead, man. Change your clocks ahead. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, that means it will get lighter in the afternoon, in the late afternoon. So it probably won't. Probably the sun won't set until like 7 o'clock or something like that, man. And just for that alone, it's really cool. Also, I will be at a birthday party tomorrow. I was invited by my second cousin. She was celebrating her daughter's 1 year of her birthday, so I have the honor of deciding to go to being invited, and plus it also helps me reconnect. Also connect with my family from my father's side. I mean, we've all reconnected. We all love each other. Is that it gives me an opportunity to connect with them on my father's side of the family, which is good. Like I said, ever since my grandparents on my father's side passed away, my grandfather died in 2004. My grandmother died in 2019. In fact, it has been, 2020. It has been 21 years since my grandfather passed away. And this would be, this October will be 6 years since my grandmother passed away. So missing them wholeheartedly, I'm missing them, and I figured, I think when many people are saying that the grandparents in each of the families are the glues that keep the families together. Once they're gone, you know, because I think grandparents know how to bring people together, families together, and that's probably a beautiful thing because, sometimes they have the compassion, heart, and patience. You know what I mean? So that's, having that is not, having that. My parents are grandparents. I'm a 9-time uncle, for goodness sake. So that's a beautiful thing. So enough being sentimental, folks. I know I'm trying to kill some time here, so I want my video to go over 10 minutes here. And that's my main rule of the show, of my show when I do it. We're going to talk about Queen of the Ring. I went up seeing it today. I went to the picture show in Fall River. Why did I go all the way to Fall River to see the show? One, it had an earlier time at 12:15 p.m. So that's why the first show, because our mall theater doesn't open till like noontime, and so I was like, and I am not waiting. And plus, all the times of the Queen of the Ring are late. And that's one reason why I didn't go to the AMC in the Dartmouth Mall. Two, the reason why I didn't go to the Dartmouth Mall Theater, I want to stay away from work on my day off. Last thing I need is to be bugged about everything, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? It just, it's like, the last thing I want to do is be bugged about everything. So, that is, so that's a big deal. That's a superior big deal of being, of going to the picture show in Fall River, the South Coast Marketplace there. For my local friends who know where that is, used to be where the Harlem Mall used to be. And the movie, great premise. The movie was about a sports movie about Mildred Burke, who basically was the pioneer of women's professional wrestling. And back in the 50s, a lot of things were different back then. Watching the movie, you realize that a lot of things were back then different in the 50s. You had men basically running things, and it was like somebody would say, "Oh, a woman wants to do this," Also, back in the 50s too, the color barrier was pretty strong at that time, And that was another thing too. If you watch the movie, you understand. So the gender barrier and the color barrier were pretty strong in the 50s. That's how it was back in the day. And you had, and which was, I think, I didn't want to get too political about the movie. It was like I said, it was pretty strong back in the day. Now, thank God. No, I'll be honest with you. I thank God I wasn't born in the 50s, man. I probably wouldn't live to see today. But, no offense to the folks who lived in the 50s and the 60s and all that. Thank God I wasn't born in those decades because I don't know if I would survive. But, I would miss out on a lot of things today. However, it was why I was born in 1977 because of that reason, you know what I mean? And, Emily Bett Rickards, she's been a big name, been a up-and-coming actress for a long time. Remember the TV show from the WB Arrow? Started Justin Hartley as the title character. Emily Bett Rickards was an actress from that show, and probably that's how she got her big break. And she played the role of Mildred Burke. And Mildred Burke was so legendary back in the day of professional wrestling that the Burke, the NWA Women's World Championship, held by Kenzie Page, Kenzie Page was nicknamed the Burke in honor of Mildred Burke, who basically was pioneers, the first NWA Women's World Women's World Champion. I don't want to say heavyweight, women and heavyweight. Those two words, I got to keep them separate. I don't want anyway. That's why I need to get my butt pounded. You know what I mean? Like, you call me a heavyweight, boom! And you're like, ugh. What happened to you, Eric? I called a woman a heavyweight. She punched me. Don't do that. You know what I mean? I may like curvy butts. Evidence. Anyways, speaking of which, Toni Storm had a key role in the movie. It may not be big, but it was a key role. Clara Mortensen in the movie. Watch the movie because I think, and Toni Storm looks so gorgeous. Oh my goodness, man! I was like, oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Mm. 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 You know. Uh, let's see. Britt Baker played a small role in the movie as well. Naomi was in the movie as well. Mickie James also has a small role as well, and Josh Lucas, one of the main players in that movie as well. Watch it, and you'll see what I mean. James E. Cornett, approaching him for the movie, and he probably gave a lot of input on professional wrestling. So, yeah, professional wrestling back then, basically it showed what life is like in the professional wrestling industry back in the 1950s, and how Mildred Burke's journey, was documented, basically. And the fact of the matter is that it was such a great movie. The moral of that movie was pretty good. Never give up on your dreams. Basically, that's what it is. And if you watch the movie, you understand why. It was well done. No, I think another. I'll tell you what. This is an upcoming actress, but also she's a second generation actress. You might, if I tell her her name, the last name could be familiar. Franscesca Eastwood. Yep, Eastwood. She is the daughter of acting legend Clint Eastwood. And also, she played Mae Young in the movie. And I remember that's the aunt of one of my good friends that I used to go to my church, and now she lives in Florida, Miss Jennifer Knowles. Or now known as Jennifer Whitaker, Mae Young was her aunt. So, and if you watch the movie, you will see how big of a role Mae Young played in the life of Mildred Burke. And just but Franscesca Eastwood, very gorgeous, very beautiful. Toni Storm looks so gorgeous as Clara Mortensen, and you got to watch the movie to see, but she had a bit of a small role, but it was a key role nonetheless. And but then you talk about life outside of wrestling in the wrestling industry can be very complicated. Watch the movie, you understand what I mean about that. Well, overall, I felt like Dave Meltzer on this one, and Lord heaven forbid I mentioned myself and Dave Meltzer in the same sentence. I'm giving this movie 5 stars. Out of 5 stars, I give it 5 stars. It was a very good movie. Emily Bett Rickards played a wonderful job in the movie and all. We can't forget Kamille. Kamille played June Byers, and who would thought she made a major key role in the movie. Watch the movie again. You'll see what I mean by that. And Kamille did a great job as well. And to me, standing out is Josh Lucas. And and just basically Mildred Burke risked everything to make women's wrestling what it is today. If you watch this movie, you will understand. You will have more respect for women's professional wrestling than ever before, to be totally honest. And if it had not been for somebody like Mildred Burke, young ladies like this young lady here, Toni Storm, we wouldn't have ever heard of her. We wouldn't be hearing of her, or seeing her. And just to see this happen, this is was what, and she was. I'll tell you what, she was the main reason why I watched Queen of the Ring. Looking at her, I'm like, wow, she looks more gorgeous than ever. So it was, and then you got, Emily Bett Rickards, wonderful job as Mildred Burke. I recommend this movie. If you're a professional wrestling fan from back in the day and grown up and still watching it today, I recommend to watch this movie. It's a great movie overall. I recommend watching it, seeing it, and like I said, 5 out of 5 for me. 5 out of 5 stars for me. 2 thumbs up. whatever. It was a great movie, well done, and I'll tell you what, everybody on the cast has done a wonderful job. Jim Cornette. I'll tell you one thing, there's lots of Easter eggs in the movie, so I'm not going to tell you what those Easter eggs are. You're going to have to pick them up. Pick up the Easter eggs. You say, I've heard that phrase before. I heard that phrase. Let's say there were a lot of phrases out there that are total Easter eggs. You know what I mean? There are a lot of phrases out there that are total Easter eggs. So it's something that you got to pick up on. I picked up on a couple of phrases that was heard in the movies. You see what I mean when you'll see what I mean when you watch the movie. You have to go watch this movie. You have to go see it. I recommend it if you're a wrestling fan like myself, or you want to encourage let's say you want your daughters have a lot of little girls out there have big dreams. It's rated PG-13, but if you have teenage girls that have these big dreams, and people telling them no, 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 and if they feel like they're giving up, parents go get them and tell them to watch this movie, because it has a huge moral of story to it that I think every woman, every teenage girl should listen to. Watch the movie, and it's a great movie overall. Or if, like I say, if they want, if they're into wrestling, tell them to go see this movie. People that are into wrestling, watch this movie. Families are into wrestling, watch this movie. Watch it. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. And it's a great movie overall. You can learn something from it. Sometimes, also this movie would show the other side of the wrestling business, so to speak, and how the behind the scenes stuff works. Back in the time period back then, the 50s was a really, really tough time. As you know, color barriers were a thing, and gender barriers were a thing, back in the 50s. Like I said, thank God I didn't grow up in that decade. I grew up in the 70s. I grew up in the late 70s and the 80s and 90s, so it's a huge deal. And like I said, so it's a great movie overall. Thanks for watching. It's a great movie overall. Go watch it. Go see it. Queen of the Ring, out in theaters now. Check your local theaters for time, and it's good for, like I said, it's rated PG-13. And well, here's one spoiler I'll give you. No, there was no Toni Storm nude scenes. As Toni Storm claims there was, but there was none. Am I mad? No. Because I knew it was a PG-13. They couldn't do that stuff. Yeah, no nude scenes from Toni Storm. None. She made I know it was all a joke, and good. And she played her character to timeless Toni Storm to a good hill. But no, Clara Mortensen was not naked in the movie. That's the only spoiler I'll give you guys. In fact, if you watch Dynamite this past Wednesday, you would hear that from Toni Storm. Yeah, and from the director Ash Avildsen, not Hamilton. It was Ash Avildsen, what a name, and he's the one that directed the movie and all. Did a great job of it. Again, Queen of the Ring, go see it. That's all I'm going to say. All right, that's all the time we have on the show. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'm hoping to, like I say, we have Collision tonight, speaking of which, the final Collision before Revolution, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow night, and speaking of Toni Storm, she'll defend the AEW Women's Championship against former champ Mariah May in a no disqualification, no count out, Hollywood-ending fight. We'll see how well that plans out. So, thank you for tuning in, and until next episode comes rolling around, and also, don't forget to see me on Chillin' with Jordy tonight. So, until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.